what the heck? What happened for the pricing for this event? Like this is not new. Like TCGs are in the golden era of tournament.
The first round going to round 2 was 47 minutes because I literally
extra. And I already talked about things that could have happened that would have made me quit on the spot.
Yes.
Literally nothing would have changed my mind.
Welcome to our Riftbound podcast. This is the first episode. I am your host, Terry. With me today, we have Isaac and Cabin, who got 11th place at Houston. Also got a top 8 this weekend in Orlando of one of the 3 days, so congrats on that. That's pretty awesome.
O2 dropped the other day.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. Then that's how we do it here. But yeah, we wanted to start a podcast here. We've started doing a lot of content and got to meet a lot of people at these events as we've been traveling the last few weeks. People have been coming up to us saying they want more content. They said they love what we're doing, and that's great. Honestly, we were not expecting people to know who we were that quickly.
For reference, if you are only enjoying our Riftbound content on our channel, we are very well known in our other game, Grand Archive, and do a lot of content there. Everyone knows us there. It's awesome. I was not expecting that at all in Riftbound. So yeah, when people would be like, "Hey, I love your content, man," I'm like, do I know you? Like, who are you?
Yeah. Also, this is the first time you're seeing me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have not seen Isaac. He's been behind the camera for all Riftbound. But now he's going to be here because I thought it would be really cool because you came to Houston, but you did not play in Houston. You shot some content while you were there, got a lot of footage, but also you were kind of just there as a spectator.
Yep.
So I thought that'd be cool because that's like a very different perspective.
I'm a casual player. Is how I'll put it.
Yeah, exactly. So. But we'll get some insight from that, which will be really cool.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a few different things today. Right out the gates, you kind of touched on it, and I wanted to just jump right into the idea of like coming to Riftbound, this brand new game, coming from other games, which, as Cabin said, we come from Grand Archive. That's our main competitive game, but we've played competitive games for a long time. I started in Magic the Gathering and moved from there. We've played Yu-Gi-Oh!, Force of Will, Pokemon.
I started in Grand Archive.
Yeah, Isaac has been playing a lot less than myself and Cabin. So we've played a lot of games. And for the past 2 years plus, we've been traveling the world playing Grand Archive. And now we've got 2 weeks of competitive travel in Riftbound. And I kind of wanted to talk about our experience moving from a game like Grand Archive. And this is going to kind of go hand in hand with how we felt Houston went and everything else as well. Personally, we are not shy saying that we really like how Weaves of the Shore does things over at Grand Archive. The Omnidex, which is their tournament software that they created that they use for Grand Archive, is incredible. And there's a few things that have been left to be desired in the tournament software that we have been using in Riftbound so far. Houston was an incredible experience. It really felt like a big esports event or something when we walked in. They had the walls of all the different champions.
I wasn't expecting it, and I genuinely was like a little like starstruck walking into that venue. It looked amazing.
Yeah, the look was crazy. It felt so cool. The stage that the feature matches was on felt like an esports stage. Like they really did go above and beyond, and it felt like larger than life event. It did not feel like the first event that they were putting on. Well, granted, they put on some events in China, but the first North American event, right? Which we came to learn a lot of things like, that this felt a little rushed to them because they weren't initially planning on there being an NA scene and a big tournament scene for competitive here in the United States. And obviously, with how popular the game got very quickly, they did, and I think with the time that they put on the event overall was pretty great. I had a good time. I think there was definitely pros and cons. I think the way it looked, it was a great thing. But I really want to talk, I think today, more so. I mean, we'll talk about the good things, but I think some of the things that might need improvement might be a little more interesting, and I think we can talk about that more. So I know Cabin has a few things that he felt as somebody who was able to top 16 the event, has a little bit of insight, a little more insight maybe.
Yeah, go for it.
This is the rant podcast, man. You wanted a rant video?
Yeah.
Here's your platform.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
You guys haven't seen me or really heard from me, and you're still not going to.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So I want to preface by saying that we have met a few of the, devs for Riot. Got to talk to their content team, all that kind of stuff. Lovely people. I think they're doing a pretty good amount of things right. But I'm all for transparency. I'm going to give you my raw, unfiltered thoughts. And so, sorry in advance.
How unfiltered.
So one of the best things that I want to highlight before I get too focused on the negative is the best of prizing. The concept of the best of prizing was really cool. When I saw that it got announced, I immediately was like, man, I wish Grand Archive did this. Immediately I was like, this is one of the best innovative things that I've seen a TCG do. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. Unfortunately, there were definitely some things that happened that took away from the awesomeness of it. There was some cheating that resulted from it in the main event. There were players that would report a 2-0 win instead of a 2-1 win.
Because game win is the main breaker that they are using in this game so far, at least from official events, which is definitely a lot different than what we're used to. Opponent win percentage. And that's a whole, we could have podcasts about that alone. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, not to interrupt.
No,
that
for
makes
sure.
a huge...
But I'm a call player out. Sorry. My top 16 match that I lost, my opponent beat me 2-1. They reported it as 2-0. Could be a mistake. Like that happens, right? You're high stress environment. You're trying to quickly report. Rest between your next round. But there was a report of them doing it again in the tournament. So at that point, that's pretty sus. And the reason that it matters is because they're moving into top 8. They're hoping that if they have a higher tiebreaker, they can get that best of Annie card, which was already started to be talked about as potentially being worth tens of thousands of dollars. And so there was an unfortunate side of that, which, is just going to TOs and judges and all that kind of stuff just always have to be aware of cheating. But the weird part was how it affected the tables that aren't usually looked at for cheating, where there was definitely some rumors and stuff of people that were just doing some sus things in order to try to increase their chances at metal cards throughout the whole tournament, whereas usually cheating is most frequently at the top tables because that's basically the only place that usually matters. So I just like to see them handle that going forward because of how much money and stuff there is on the line.
Which I think the how much these are going for is kind of crazy.
100%. Yeah.
I can't believe.
Yeah.
There's people that didn't even get close to day 2ing that are making 40 grand.
Yeah.
Because they are selling this best of card. Because they played a very undesirable champ and were able to do it, which, hey, it's cool. The collector's market in League of Legends is obviously going to be insane. So that's one thing. But and I think that this is a very easy fix right out the gates, is don't use game win percentage as your main breaker. Because that just opens the door for more cheating. It rewards people for playing against worse opponents. Whereas when you use opponent win percentage, you get rewarded for playing against good players. Because your breakers are better when your opponents are better. Sure, it sucks a lot more when people drop. It hurts your breakers. But it doesn't feel as bad, when you win a game 2-1. It's actually better for your breakers. Instead of winning 2-0, you're like, well, okay, now my breakers actually took a little bit of a hit, right? So that's definitely a strange, the way that all works out in math. And making it game win opens the door for, like you said, a lot of cheating. And now I just can report it 2-0.
The thing is, I don't think a lot of people expected these cards to be over 5 figures. I don't think Riot did. Riot obviously was not aware of how popular their metal cards would be. There was a whole thing with them being on the prize wall as well in a lower rarity. That's a whole different thing. They obviously just did not expect those to be worth so much. The reality is that every single person that won a metal card got more prizing than everyone in that tournament except for first place, who also won a metal card. But even the second place, no, I shouldn't say second because they got a metal card. Anyone in top 8 that did not get a metal card got less than someone that made day 2 but won a metal card.
Or didn't even make day 2.
Right, or didn't even make day 2, And most metal card winners did make day 2, thankfully. But there were some that didn't, I think, like the Garen and stuff.
Garen, Jinx.
Lux.
Actually, maybe the Garen did make it. No, they were 6-3. No. Yeah. So anyways, that does lead me into another thing of prizing. What the heck? What happened for the prizing for this event? So I got 11th place out of over 1,300 players. And I got $500. I might have got a Nats invite. We don't know. They did not post who would get a Nats. They just said invites will be given out. And the communication that we've seen so far is I think some just some Riot dev mentioning in Discord that an announcement would come eventually.
Yeah.
I'm just confused why this isn't handled. How do you not have your invite being announced before the event started? And why has it not been announced 2 weeks after the event has started? Very weird stuff there. But at the current moment, I got 11th out of 1,300 players and got $500 cash.
Yeah.
That's a complete joke. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah.
In today's day and age of tournaments, speaking of Grand Archive, if you get top 8, which granted I didn't get top 8, but even top 8 wasn't that much of a bump, because why was their top 8 promo card looking like it was out of the main set?
Yeah.
If you went like this and like showed me 2 cards, like the backs, and then like showed me the fronts, and one of them was a top 8 card and one of them was a card from the set, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one was which.
No.
I would have to look at it for like 5 seconds to actually know, which is just crazy. I don't understand why the top 8 card wasn't even an alt art or something. Doesn't make any sense.
Is it one that just says like promo?
It just says promo on the bottom.
They are like a lot of people we talked to said they are addressing these things, right? Because they left a lot to be desired when it came to prizing.
Yeah,
a lot.
They also did single elimination and only top 32 prizing.
I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, cool.
So, anyways, even top 8ing wasn't that great. But yeah, I mean, in Grand Archive, you can go a 200 player event, get top 8, and you walk away with like $5,000 in prizing sometimes, which is crazy. Even if you get 11th, usually you'll walk away with over $500 worth of stuff. Granted, I got 11th and got cash, which is nicer than stuff. I didn't have to sell anything. But they first off made us fill out our paperwork during our top 32 match. With Social Security, like in front of our opponents. That was super weird. They handled that weirdly. I mean, just like really, really bad prizing for that. And let's talk about the people that got worse prizing. So we have a buddy of ours that was in our testing group for this event, the little Annie squad that we had going on. We had a buddy of ours go undefeated in day 1 Swiss. Took an ID in the last round. So didn't win every single match, but still...
I think it was 702 at the end.
Oh, did he do double ID?
Yeah, I think he double ID'd,
Still literally did not lose a single match in day 1. Goes into day 2 the next day, loses his first round, walks away with nothing. Literally, my wife decided to play Garen, try to go for a medal card. She went
4-2-1. So
4-3-2?
4-3-2. 4-3-2.
4-4-1.
4-4-1. I think it was 4-4-1.
It was 9 rounds.
I think she went 4-4-1. 300th, 400th place or something, because so many people dropped. So obviously not a very good showing. She didn't practice much. She literally played Garen for like 4 games before the event. Still almost went positive record. But obviously like a very bad showing for like from a competitive standpoint. She won the same amount of prizing as someone that went 7-0-2 in day 1. No.
That's crazy.
No, fam. Like, you have to have some sort of prize. Even if you don't want to like extend the cash pool down that much and take it away from the top, I get that. I'm all for like not making the cash pool. Like, I don't want to give everyone $50. You know what I mean? But make a promo card. Like, this is not new. Like, TCGs are in the golden era of tournaments right now. Like, so many games have cracked the code of a hybrid of cash and physical product prizing, whether that's promos, boxes, whatever you have. So many games have cracked that code and figured out a really great system like Grand Archive has, where if you do well in an event, you are rewarded, right? And Neelix getting the same prizing as my wife that didn't even really try, got 3 or 2 wins from buys and no-shows and stuff.
He got the same prizing that I did.
He got the same prizing as you did.
I didn't play
in the event. And he went 7-0-2. He lost 1 match in the entire event. He lost 1 match in the entire event and got nothing for it. That is absolutely messed up. That's how you get people to quit your game.
I hope, and this is why it's absolutely mind-blowing to me that they have not come out with how the regional invites are going out. Because the easiest fix to this would be top 64 gets a regional invite.
Which is...
I'm hoping that's what they do. It's a lot of people to invite to a regional. I don't know how big they're planning on.
I hope that regional invites are top 64 because, come on, dude, give them something. What the heck? but I'm also definitely hoping that it's smaller. Because you also don't want a 1,000-person Nats. Some games have that. It's fine. You know what? Maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's fine.
And maybe that's what they want.
I'm definitely a little like biased because I got top 16, so I'm like, come on, keep the invite pool smaller, so that's easier for me. That's definitely personal bias, but you gotta give something to, if you're gonna do single elimination in day 2 and not Swiss, you gotta give something to the people that lose round 1, because literally someone X2s are making it right into day 2. So there is a world where an X2 could have made day 2 and played against someone that was actually undefeated in the finals, right? They went XO day 1 and won all their matches up until finals. And you have an X2 playing against an XO, and the X2 wins and wins the whole event, right? Like, that's just crazy.
I think that's what happened to our MF player. Our MF player was 8-0-1.
Yeah,
the number
he was
1
first seed,
going
and he
in,
lost.
Played against the 64th seed.
Yep. Yeah, number 1 seed gets nothing.
Nothing.
That's wild.
The person that won 8 rounds didn't double ID. Went 8-0 and then ID'd the last round.
Like, top 8, that should absolutely be single elimination.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you want to make top 32, top 16 single elimination, fine, whatever.
As long as there's prizing involved.
Even top 64 simulation, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks that you could be number 1 seed and have to win 5 matches in a row to win the tournament and not drop a single match. I'm not a big fan of that, but whatever. If you want to do it that way, fine. But make the prizing at least worth it.
Yeah. Even imagine how cool, the amount of, what this company has access to, the amount of lore, skins in the game, the things that they could create for promos. Imagine if we would have gotten just a sick Kaisa Survivor promo for top 64, one of the most played cards in the game, one of the most sought after cards that people want, with a different skin. Maybe it's the KDA skin.
Yeah.
Now everybody's losing their minds over this Kaisa KDA skinned promo that you get for top 64ing a big event.
Something that would not cost them a lot of money to manufacture and would probably be a grand plus on the secondary market.
Yes.
And so all your people are happy, because as someone that got 11th and only got $500 cash, no other thing at the moment, I spent more money on travel.
Yeah.
I literally lost money by spending tons of time prepping, buying their cards and making an expensive deck, going down, spending more time there, spending money on travel, and ended up losing money on the event by getting 11th out of 1,300 players.
Yeah.
That's a broken system. You have to fix that literally by the next tournament, or else you're just going to have people dropping like flies. I was in the event before top 64 started saying, if I lost round 1 and got no prizing, I was immediately going to quit on the spot.
Yeah.
How do you not have 32 players every single tournament quitting your game right away? 32 competitive players.
Yeah, highly competitive.
Yeah,
players.
it is hard to make day 2. You know, going 7-2 was not an easy feat, and that was the lowest bracket that made it in, and barely any of them made it in. You know, there's definitely that's the biggest issue that needs to be fixed. Actually, not true. It's tied with judges. I'm not gonna lean into the judges too much.
New game.
New
People
rules. Were trying to be there, helping the event run smoothly.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people got very frustrated at the judges at the event. I also got frustrated at the judges at the event. I tried to just remember that they are just humans there trying to do something, right? That's a thing that will just get fixed with more time. More judges get more experience. They can select from a more experienced pool of judges, and it should just theoretically get smoother and smoother each event. It'll kind of fix itself in a way.
Yeah.
The prizing, that is 100% on the company. Bad prizing, you need to fix that. That is something that's in their control.
They definitely made plenty of money to give up better pricing too, with how many people did side events.
Yeah.
Paid for side events.
Yeah. They they are a very successful company. They are not a small indie company.
Yeah.
They have the money, and they have pushed this game to the levels that they have. The product sells out instantly anywhere it's
at. But that's the thing. I'm not even sitting here saying you need to throw 50,000 cash into the prize pool. I'm just saying you need to make a promo.
Do something
for day tours, which is not that much money.
No.
Yeah. They can basically print money.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what all card games are. Right. But they can just make a promo for pennies on the dollar for them. And then the secondary market values go way up, and it makes your competitive scene better. You know, that's what I'm saying is this has been a thing for a long time. You know, only cash prizing is a thing of 10, 20 years ago for tournaments, right? The hybrid solution has, so many games have shown how to do prizing correct. And
even Magic the Gathering has gone into adding promos, which is, they were historically a cash
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And now you're starting to see a lot of promos.
Because it's just so obviously like the right thing to do. It's the best way to handle it. And like, it's just crazy that they just drove right by it.
Yeah.
While doing some really cool, innovative things like the best of one prizing. So it was just odd. It is pretty unfortunate that some dude that went 6-3 made more money than the person that got second place in the 1,300 player event. You know, like some things just have to be balanced and fixed there. Yeah.
And it's like you said, a lot of really cool ideas, and we'll see. I think a lot of this is like right out the gates, early days FOMO type stuff, right? Where people are going crazy for these cards. People fighting over who gets the first collection of best of metal cards.
We don't even know if these are actually one of ones. Everyone is acting like they are one of ones because they might be, but we don't actually know that.
There's been no, I don't think there's been any full of anything like that. And I would be very amazed if they were one of ones, because this is something that they should probably do every event, in my opinion. I thought it was one of the coolest things. It makes people play every legend in the game, which is incredible.
Well, what do people do in League of Legends? They pick a handful of champs that they like, and they always play that. So why take away the Garen Metal card? Right? Like Jax is coming out next set. I'm a big Jax fan. Jax and Shaco are my favorite League of Legends champions. There's a good chance, especially if they don't fix everything that I want them to fix, which they might not, there's a good chance that I do not go as competitive as I did for this event, not shooting to try to win events, and I just one-trick Jax. And I play Jax in every major event going forward for literally the rest of the time playing Riftbound, because that's what people do in League of Legends. And it would be awesome to be able to try to win a Jax Metal card one of those times instead of only having like one season to try to do that, right? And obviously it'll make those metal cards worth less, but they will still always be worth some money, no matter how many are out there. And like it just makes sense to do them frequently.
I think now that we're talking about the metal cards and everything, the best of, let's talk about just the 35 metal cards of each champ that were put on the side event prize wall. Which very early on, there was groups that realized that they thought these might be pretty valuable. We didn't know how valuable, obviously. But granted, we probably should have, because you make a limited run of something League of Legends related. It's going to go crazy. So, you know, people were grinding side events with multiple groups, finding the most efficient ways to get as many tickets as they could to get as many metal cards as they could. And there was groups that got a lot of them.
Well, and
day one, I should say.
I forgot about this too. Because someone that chose to, or someone that did not make day two or whatever, right? Or someone that just chose to do side events instead of the main event. Most metal cards were selling for about $1,000 to $2,000. Some of them going for even more. You know, the bad characters going for closer to $1,000. But yeah, I mean, literally someone that just chose to do side events during the weekend and just got entry tickets, didn't win a single game. Made more money than Neelix, who went undefeated in day one and lost his first round of Swiss. That's wild.
That's me.
I mean, you literally had a spectator badge and you made more money.
I went around and did content. So if people don't know, I do content for our channel. I am the main editor for our channel. And so I just went there for content, had a spectator badge. Somewhere around day one, at some point, was it even day one? I don't think it was the day zero. Friday. I just played side events with our group of friends and so that, and I got 10 tickets and I bought a prize wall card because just Yasuo, because it's one of the only ones left on that day. And I was like, honestly, I like Yasuo. If I get stuck with this and it doesn't sell well, that's fine. I'll play Yasuo. And turns out people still wanted Yasuo. And so I sold it, and I just chilled the entire time. And I made more money than my friend who played the main event.
Who went undefeated in day one.
And then went day two.
And he didn't get to stand in line to try to get a metal card.
Or play the events to get side tickets.
Because he was playing the main event the whole time. He had tickets. And originally he was like trying to see if someone would stand in line and get him one because he's going to be busy.
It literally happened for me. I made day two. Or sorry. I didn't want to day one risk my main event by going early. And
which let me tell you, that did risk sleep. That was my experience, which I'll talk about soon.
So you can talk.
No, I was just going to say, so day one or day zero, we talked about that, right? Some people realized pretty fast that these things were going to be pretty collectible. There was one group that got 8 Annies day one.
That's crazy.
They basically held the Annie market. So after day one, people realized, because people started buying these things, that they were going to be crazy expensive. And so
after day zero,
yes, Friday. And so people were like, okay, we all have 10 tickets. It's not hard to get 10 tickets if you just play a few side events.
Yeah.
Everybody has tickets now. So we said, okay, well, we got to make sure we go early to get in line, right?
Yeah.
So we start walking over to get in line. I decided for how much these metal cards were selling, and I was able to get one on day 0, and I had a lot more tickets because we played all day. I said, well, I want to get a second one.
Yeah.
So we left at 4:45 in the morning and walked over there, got there just after 5 a.m. There was already a line of 35 people. And we're like, okay, this is a little unfortunate, but we'll still be able to get one. And there was like, I really wanted a jinx at this point for myself. Like I wasn't even planning on selling it until the prices turned to what they did. And I didn't get a jinx, by the way. But so we waited in line. This was on the street, mind you. The venue wasn't open yet. So we finally get let into the venue. We go and we get in line. Now, this is not all the VIP member ticket holders, by the way. I want to preface that because I know that when they first put the tickets out, it was on the tickets that the VIP members would be
premium competitor.
Premium competitor badges. Yeah, I should say that. Yeah, not VIP. The premium competitor badges were allowing you to get in 15 minutes early. Obviously, day 0, that happened. They let us in on Friday, 15 minutes early. But after that, we were no longer let in early, which regardless, I mean, that is what it is. Maybe it wasn't on there. Maybe it was. I heard a lot of people say that it was but I don't know if that's true or not.
It was removed, apparently.
Yeah. So it being removed, that's a little sketchy out the gates. But one thing that I know was on there and not removed was that spectators were let in at 9:30, not 9 a.m.
Yep.
So yeah, we got into line. We were in the line that was meant for premium badge holders, which a lot of people that didn't have premium badges were in that line as well. They ended up kicking a bunch of people out, so they kicked a bunch of people out. And then 2 minutes later came back and said, never mind, if you are in that, you don't have to leave. And now all these people that came at 4:30 in the morning that were ahead of us were gone, that weren't premium badge holders. And they had to go all the way to the back. And then they changed it. So some people that refused to leave got to stay. So that's kind of messed up. There was also people that got there later than us that said, well, I guess I'm just going to roll the dice, and got into the spectator line with their badge at the front of the line on the other side and said, maybe they'll let us in. Well, the spectator line wasn't supposed to get let until 9:30. They added more security for day 1. They added 3 checkpoints instead of like 1 that they had the day before that.
I think they had 2.
Maybe they had 2. Well, they added a whole other one.
They had at least another one with more people.
And they put 2 on towards the spectator side and 1 on the premium side. So 9 o'clock hits. Everybody's, feeling very anxious because everyone is there for metal cards. There's hundreds and hundreds of people trying to get a metal card.
People that got there 6 hours before the tournament starts.
Yes. And they start letting us in. We have to go through security. They open up the line. They open up both lines. And spectators have 2 security checkpoints. They don't have backpacks with decks in it. They don't have any of that stuff. They are walking up going, okay, getting let through, and they are running to the metal cards.
Yeah.
So they are getting all of the highest, the ones that everybody wanted, right? The Aries, the Kaisas, the Annies, those were gone instantly. And people were pretty upset that had happened like that.
Yeah,
because people that waited all day, or all morning, got there super early, which I was one of the people that got there, and I felt that it was definitely not the correct call for a competitive mindset to go super early and hurt your day. Granted, I made it all the way to the end and ended up not having the breakers to make it through, which is still fine, but I did not play my best. And I know that because I was getting real tired through the day.
Yeah.
And it was a long event, which we're going to talk about next, because I'm going to talk about judging and rounds and overtime. But that happened. A lot of people were very upset, very vocally upset. I unfortunately, there's a lot of miscommunication between UVS, the riot workers, and the security for the venue that are not their security. It's a completely different entity, and the confusion there, the way it was very unorganized, and it turned into chaos. And luckily, no one got hurt because it was very close to a situation where a Black Friday in 2000 situation where everybody runs for the escalators, knocks people over, someone gets trampled. We were very close to that. And they realized that, which this is good on them.
Yeah.
Is they realized that it was not safe anymore to do that, because now everybody who lost day 1 wants a card.
Yeah.
So now there's 1,000+ people way more than 1,000 plus people that are wanting a metal card, that are getting there super early. People were trying to camp out on Saturday at 11 p.m. before the tournament was even over. They were already like laying down in line, which going to say, I'm just going to stay here for tomorrow.
Yeah.
They got kicked out.
Yeah.
They got kicked out. So they made a very, very smart decision to lottery draw for the metal cards on Sunday, which that made a lot of people upset that were buying tickets like this. They're like, oh, I'm going to buy tickets at $100 a ticket because I can get a metal card and sell it for over $1,000. So it's worth it. So people are selling tickets for $100 a ticket. Crazy stuff, man. This pure chaos. Luckily, they did that. People were trying to line up as soon as it started because it's first come, first serve. And they're like, this isn't going to work. You kick them all out. They decided to do a rolling lottery system, which was super smart. Instead of just going, here's 150 people that all get a metal card, first come, first serve. They did it in waves. Yeah. So good on them. That was a really good decision that kept the player safety, spectator safety. But I know a lot of people were very upset that the spectators got let in early with everybody else. And so spectator players that weren't even there on Friday, maybe just got 10 tickets from a friend or something like that, were able to show up, spend $30 on their pass, and get a metal card and make $2,000+.
Well, and definitely one of the issues from just the whole weekend was the communication, like you kind of briefly touched on. It was definitely very frustrating as a player to hear just nonstop different information from every perspective. Like even before they had changed to a lottery system for the metal cards, once we made day 2, we were told, you'll get to come up and stand in line for the prize wall, like before you start your event. And then they're like 10, 15 minutes later, after some people had left to go buy tickets, because they're like, sweet, we get guaranteed metal cards. Yeah. Then they're like, nope, never mind. We're not letting you do that. Yeah. And then 20 minutes after that, they sent out the email about the lottery system. And it was just like so many points of that tournament, so many different parts, prize wall, side event, World's merch store, or merch store that had the World's bundles, vendors, like so many different parts of communication where it's just like they would literally tell someone something and then 3 minutes later it was the exact opposite. And so it was just like impossible to verify any information because it seemed like literally no one knew what was going on from both the community and the organizers, which was awful. So that's definitely something that needs to change as well, which is like, it's their first event, but this is a company that has run tournaments before, so it should not have been that bad. Yeah, it was a little rough. And that same sentiment was very apparent in the judges. And this was kind of like you talked about it a little bit, but I think that is my biggest gripe with the judging. It's not the individual judges themselves. It is the cohesion of the judges, where depending on what judge you got, you would get a different ruling. Do you know, I don't even know if you know what I'm about to say, but man. I'm ready. I heard head judges talking about, because there was multiple head judges. I heard head judges talking about how there were multiple instances of floor judges taking head judge appeals and ruling on them. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's literally insane. I do not understand that. No. So either judges were just making some really poor decisions and choosing to do that, or like you said, the cohesion wasn't there and they weren't even aware that head judges were the only ones supposed to be appealing or something. But there was just a lot of wrong things, and they need to get that system in place. They just need to clean it up, man. And like currently the system with overtime, is that it is an untimed overtime. We have a 50-minute round, best of 3, with 5 turns once time hits, with no time limit. So I read through the tournament rules or whatever, like the document that came out like a month before Riftbound or before Houston. I read through that, and the second I read that, I was like, that's a problem. It's like so obvious. How do you miss this? Like obviously this, I legitimately, I was very vocal about this. I legitimately told everyone I knew. I was like, I'm pretty sure Houston Day 1's going to go to 3 a.m. if they allow us to be in the venue that long, or they're going to have to cut rounds or something. And almost did. They almost did. Yeah.
They started picking them back up after round 5. I think it was when they started speeding up rounds a little bit. I think they were trying to force people to play faster. Well,
which is good. So they started to get into this mindset, and they have the judge staff. They had a giant judge staff. And this was something that we'll talk about from the PPG event a little bit that they did really well, was when people are in overtime, judges are going to the table, they're sitting down, they're watching, they're asking what turn they're on.
Yeah.
They're keeping the pace of play up.
And this is why it got better in the later rounds because so many players dropped. And so it was just a lower pool of people to watch. Yep.
Because like one of the arguments that I heard from one of the developers, one of the people from the team, not the main devs, but one of the people that's ahead of organized play, they have a team that runs it, was that the game was made to have a no time limit. The way that the game plays, the way that they want the conclusion to happen, the way they do overtime, they don't want there to be a time limit. But I said, okay, I'm all for that. If that is exactly what you want, if that's how it's meant to be, 100%, we can do this. But then your judges need to be trained. They need to be ready to keep pace of play up. Because if we're in a giant 1,300 man plus event, this is the first event.
Yeah.
The game's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, this event sold out immediately.
Yeah.
So
this could have been a 5,000 man event easily.
You said the game was made so that way overtime is on time, or the actual
the way that it concludes
match.
The match, they wanted the match to reach a certain point, and the way that the game plays, the way the interaction is, they want the overtime to make a concise winner. They don't want draws. They're trying to like stay away from that, which I can respect that.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But then I don't necessarily agree with that ideology.
Yeah, because then
you can do 5 turns in 10 minutes and just do it like One Piece, where there is going to be a winner. Because, well, okay, they're a best of one game, but the way that you decide who wins, there's different things, which is similar to this. Whoever has more points wins, right? So like you can just play for the points. Like Annie's very good in time because you just rush down and then hold your bounce spells. And it doesn't matter what you have to do. You just bounce anything that touches and you go, cool, that's all I'm doing. I bring Annie to pull back another bounce spell, keep you off. I'm going to score more points. Yeah. So like that is a legitimate way to win in time, right? But I think that if they're going to do that, if they're going to do this thing, they have to be so on top of make it, because 40, 45... There
were some rounds that took 2 hours.
Yeah. The first round going to round 2 was 47 minutes because I literally
extra.
Because I timed it. And I said, because we did over under. I was like, how do you guys think? It was 47 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly. And that's wild.
Yeah.
Because we're in a 9-round event, which if everything's going to go 2 hours long, that's 18 hours.
Well, and it's funny too, because one of their solutions to try to make the rounds shorter was pairings are up, round started.
Yeah.
No time.
Yeah.
So to give us unlimited time in overtime, but then to eat 4 minutes off the clock for every round because no one's set up yet.
Yeah.
Kind of contradicts itself.
And people were getting game losses over that.
Yeah.
Because the time is if it's taking you 2 minutes to get to the table, you get a game loss.
Yeah.
And so like they're trying
literally
to rush
can't
the
use
games.
the restroom.
Yeah. No time at all.
Yeah.
So it's literally like if you're not part of the people, like if you're one of the games that went late for whatever reason, there is no time. You are ready. You got to be ready to rock because they are going to be moving it. And if you are late, or the time has gone 37 minutes, and you're like, dude, I don't know when this is going to start. I'm going to go use the bathroom. And then as soon as you get in there, they start the round and you don't know it.
Yeah.
And you're standing at a urinal or something, and then you come out and you're like, oh crap, the round. You run over. It's 3 minutes in, you get a game loss. There you go. So like, that's crazy. So there's just a lot of those little things they need to figure out how they want to do it.
Also, I'm going back to that, even just from a.
Yeah, I'm very interested in your spectator.
Well, I was just thinking the wanting a concise winner in overtime, that whole thing, and so doing untimed, that makes no sense, because that means your game would physically have to, if that's what you want, then you set up your game wrong, because if you want a concise winner, then you should have made basically gameplay, the way you play the game, should only take 5-10 minutes per round.
Sure.
Because if you are an experienced like dev or whatever, and you're playing this game, you've been playing it for months because you made this game, you know how exactly everything works, and you're going through the motions, you're like 5-10 minutes, that's what we've been doing. You know that's gonna be double the time for anyone else, because people take their time, people slow play, people do whatever. So you know that should be the case. Like, so that's what you should be aiming for. But I'm assuming what they aimed for was they're like, well, 60 minutes, three games, so 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's 50-minute rounds.
It's 50-minute rounds.
Yeah.
So each game should be 20 minutes if you count overtime as being 10 minutes.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So I was saying, it's like, then you should have, if that's what you really wanted, then you should have made your gameplay be like 5-10 minutes, which means, first of all, I think that's a stupid game.
Marvel Snap, baby.
That's like, exactly.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that, where it's you got like 5 turns, that's it.
I see where you're coming
So
at.
that logic makes no sense. That is very, very flawed logic. No offense, I'm sorry, but like,
From a competitive standpoint, if you want to keep tournaments, you want to keep the mass public happy,
50-minute rounds.
50-minute rounds.
50 minutes rounds for best of 3 plus an unlimited overtime.
That makes zero sense.
It makes zero sense.
Just make it a 60-minute round. There you go.
5-minute
with a 5-minute overtime.
Yeah.
And there's your 15 extra minutes that you would have had, and it doesn't make everyone feel like everything's going crazy into time because it's a 60-minute round.
Well, and also especially because turn count's really important too, because like with 50 minutes and then each player getting 3 turns after that, we say 5 turns, it's like, well, I guess not each player gets 3 turns after that, but where I'm trying to get with this is 50 minutes. It's something that I experienced as an Annie player that played against multiple Auroras. I played fairly fast. I don't think any opponent thought I was slow playing them or anything. But even in my top 32 match, I played against a good Aurora player. Obviously, he's in top 32. Knew what they're doing. We're both playing pretty fast. And I won that match because he could not get enough points to beat me in overtime. Same thing happened to me in the 5K that I top 8'd. I literally won that match because my opponent did not have enough turns to catch up to me on points.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it doesn't matter if you get like unlimited time or a time limit. Like if you are limiting the amount of turns that are possible by doing 50 minutes and then a turn limit instead of doing 60 minutes and then a turn limit.
Yeah.
Like with overtime as well. Right. Yeah. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's very odd.
It is what it is, right?
From a spectator standpoint, because Friday I played side events.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday I did not.
Yeah.
I shot content. So much content of people playing for 2 hours you can do.
Yeah.
Every single round, and so I just sat there most of the time. I went and got food here and there. I walked around, got some B-roll. I got a lot of B-roll, like hours and hours of it. But yeah, there's no point for me to be. I mean, I think spectators are supposed to be there, maybe play some side events, get some like, oh, this is interesting. This is how this game works, whatever, and then
buy some
bounce.
merch.
Yeah, and the bounce. Yeah, that was insane. For people who we do like our own like little regionals and stuff like that, and like whatever. But we also we know people who do like big productions for events as well, and the even like production side of things was a little odd and off, and it's just weird. Everything I think comes down to for the entire event, the entire weekend, for everything from just a spectator standpoint, was that there was almost no good communication.
Yeah.
There was no point lead, I felt like, for anyone to go to. It's like, hey, what's this? Like what is this call? Whatever. I don't care what it is. This is what I just need an answer to tell everyone. I don't think there was a single person that was there that did that. I think everyone was like, I don't know. I don't know what I should do. Like, wasn't 100% sure on like if they should be the one making that call or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some judges or some staff did make that call, but they didn't ask anyone.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Like, did they not have a judge meeting before the event started or something?
They did.
Because they literally sent out as an email to everyone in the event, the players in the event, FAQs and stuff like that, right? Like they addressed like the Void Seeker thing, when you are an assault, like when does assault trigger and stuff. Like you don't get assault if you are attacking an empty battlefield.
Yeah.
And like if you use cleave and stuff. And there was so many judge calls throughout the entire tournament that were in direct, like the opposite of what was in the FAQ sheet. Like,
I think the big thing from FAQ that hit was that Arena's Greatest, Obelisk, those were triggers that you could miss because they make an effect on the game, right? But then I saw it ruled like 4 or 5 times.
So many different times, yeah. I just don't understand like a 30-minute meeting to go over some of the basic big rulings that are like the frequently ruled questions, right? Like,
and I also want to throw it out that we don't know everything, and a lot of things. This is our personal experience. This is what it looks like from the outside looking in, and what we think. Maybe things were different for other people. Maybe they saw different things. Maybe judges did have a meeting. Maybe there was a few rogue judges that were doing things. I don't know.
Sure.
There's a ton of different things, right?
Yeah.
And I think that I know we've sat here for a while and griped about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I will say that I left that event very excited to go to more big events. I thought that the production quality of what they did for their first event here was very cool, and it was a very unique experience to me than anything that, I mean, we come from Grand Archive, which is a much smaller game, but their production is actually insane.
For their size. Yeah.
Every
it's
single
unreal.
event they put on feels like I'm going to an expo.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this felt like. There was definitely some things that needed to be fixed, but I think that overall the experience of going to a large IP event, a large IP game event, I think that they did some things right. I think that a lot of things were very exciting, but I think that they have a lot of things that need to get fixed. And if they fix those things, they literally have a golden egg in their hands. This is the biggest video game IP in the world. More fan base than basically anything other than Pokemon, I would bet. And if they do things right, this game could be the biggest trading card game we've seen since Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I definitely believe that.
Or they could do the events how they did it
And
this
it'll
past few times, and the game's literally dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Is that this is something that they could turn into one of the biggest things that we've seen in trading card games, or it could do nothing.
But that's why we're sitting here being so vocal about
Yes.
our experience as competitive players from different TCGs and how this event felt. Because I walked away, like I said, when I walked in, I was literally starstruck. Like I was like, man, this is amazing. I'm so excited. And then the event happened.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of bad experiences. And I already talked about things that could have happened that would have made me quit on the spot.
Yes.
Literally nothing would have changed my mind, right?
And that's not good.
No, that's not what you want from your players. And I wouldn't be surprised if many of those players that made day 2 and got 0 prizing after losing 1 round are never going to give this game another chance.
100%.
And you don't want to be doing that to your community, right? And like, I definitely get what you say a little bit about walking away from the event and feeling excited, but I definitely walked away from this event and I felt very like neutral.
Yeah. Well, I could see anyway. I could see feeling hateful, never coming back to an event ever again.
Yeah.
People that lost in top 64 didn't get a medal card. People that went 7-2, they were X1 going into the last round and they won or they lost their last round 2-0, 0-2 instead of 1-2, and their breakers dropped them, so they got 65th place. Something like that. Like
people that had a ruling get changed on them 4 times throughout the whole event, right?
People
like
that
there's
went
so
back
many
into
things,
their matches and saw that their opponents put 2-0 into their things instead of 2-1.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait a second.
Yeah. I walked away from the event being glad I didn't have to go to Orlando. Yeah.
Well, Orlando, now that's the next thing I want to talk about, which was not an official event.
Yeah.
So not by Riot. This was by PPG.
Yes.
And that was the following week. And Caben and myself traveled there. A few of our friends traveled there. We stayed down in Orlando, and went to this weekend of events. There was a 5K on Friday, a 10K on Saturday, and a 5K on Sunday. And I know that a lot of people have already been very vocal in the community, online, on Reddit, and Discord about their experience. We're not going to go crazy into it.
I can summarize it in 2 sentences.
Yes.
Pro, they ran the event very well.
Yes.
Judges seemed to kind of have it together a little bit more. Tournaments or rounds were quick, blah, 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 right? The event was ran well. That's a huge pro.
Yeah.
Con, they took everybody for their money's worth.
Yeah.
The value was awful. It was it literally, everyone in the venue just felt like they were just being taken advantage of by this greedy company.
60 people didn't show up on Sunday.
I think that was about 6 sentences. Go ahead.
Yeah. 60 people did not come to Sunday
after paying $50 or $65
because of
I considered it.
Yeah, I know.
I've never missed an event that I paid for.
Yeah, we talked about just going and doing something in Florida instead because of how bad the experience was.
Yep.
As far as like that all goes. Now, like you said, the tournament ran well. Judges did a pretty solid job. There was still a lot of issues with cohesive things from judges. There were judges that were ruling things one way, ruling things another.
In comparison, super smooth.
Yes. Yeah. And that's going to happen in a new game regardless. There are going to be judges that understand things differently. The judge program is still very new.
Yeah.
That will get... I'm not as upset or worried about judges.
I agree.
That will get hammered out. That will get smooth. I'm not worried about that. That's just new game growing pains. But the big issue that we're seeing and that we came to, I mean, like, maybe we should have known. I'm not going to say anything more than that, but like we came in, originally up until a week before, because I just looked at the flyers briefly. I bought my tickets before Houston, like a long time ago. I was excited about this event. I didn't even know about Houston when I bought my tickets for this event. I was just like, this is sick. Like, there's gonna be Riftbound events. Let's try it out. I'm really excited to go give it a try. So I got my tickets for $50 a piece, but I just saw the flyers, went to the thing and signed up. I didn't read this fine print, go through every single individual prizing. I didn't even realize until like the week of that it wasn't cash prizing for all the events. You guys told me.
Yeah. So Saturday was advertised as cash prizing, and this is important.
Yeah.
They put out multiple advertisements in different forms of media, videos, flyers, whatever, tickets, that Saturday was a 10K cash prizing.
Yes.
It was not. They increased the pool, the cash pool, and the prize pool after I think they sold so many tickets.
Yeah. They
still, after increasing it, was a $9,600 cash prize pool. That is straight up false advertisement.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we looked at the pricing while we were there, and we went, wait a second, this is like $7,500 cash. And also, like, I know they're a company. They're running this event.
Yeah.
They need to make money. I get that. I'm not expecting them to put every dollar that they make in. Not in a million years. But everything on their prize wall at absolute max TCG high sale post in order to, like, not winning enough tickets if you top 8 one of these events. Luckily, they increased it, and you were able to get one.
Because enough people complained,
enough people complained.
But originally, if you top 8'd one of their 5K events, you did not get enough prize wall tickets to get a box of Riftbound, which is obviously what your Riftbound players are going to want.
Yeah.
It was like 16 tickets short or something like that. So it literally felt like they had intentionally made it that way so that you'd have to go like play in a side event to get more tickets.
And you'd have to win a side event.
Yeah.
Like that, with like an 8-man pod.
It just the whole system was just like wild. Yeah.
And like I said, they got to make money. I get that.
Yeah.
100%. I want them to make their bag. They run a lot of big events. That's great. They help the community grow and more events. The problem is when people start to realize that they are feeling scammed.
Just how much you're making off them. Yeah.
And that's where it's tough.
Yeah.
Because they made a lot of money.
I'm going to say unofficial events are very hard to compete with official events because of the reason that I had talked about earlier in this podcast of that hybrid prizing.
Yeah.
When you can make prizing, print your prizing for pennies on the dollar, and the secondary market goes insane. Obviously, that's really hard to compete with an unofficial company that can't print cards for the 100%. Game in promos. But when you're making more than double revenue on your tournaments,
it's a little rough.
Yeah.
At least from the competitors looking into it.
Yeah.
And to have so many people drop from the third day, like so many of my opponents in day 2 when we played, were just telling me, I have the ticket, but I don't think I'm going to come. I don't think I want to play tomorrow. They were like just kind of out of it. They didn't want to play. It didn't feel worth.
A lot of people just had a bad time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Is when you do really well at a big event, you want it to feel, we just talked about this, right? With Houston, you got 11th place. Barely. You lost money on the event. That is 100% what happened here.
Yeah.
You were not making money unless you won these events.
I pre-registered at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
So I got the cheapest ticket that I could have possibly gotten by pre-planning it. And I spent $150 on entries. Yeah. And I won a $300 market box.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. For top 80 one of the events. You know, like.
And it is what it is, man.
And I wasn't even guaranteed that. They bumped that up because enough people complained. But originally, I was going to have to spend more money to try to get that box instead.
Yeah. So here's the skinny on everything we just talked about.
TLDR.
Right? The TLDR, if you will. The TLDR. The game is actually an incredible game. The gameplay is very well fleshed out. They had a lot of incredible people work on this game. I am very surprised at how smooth the game plays.
Yeah.
We've talked about that time and time again. It's a great game. And that's really cool and really exciting.
It doesn't feel like a straight cash grab from a game. Like a big IP is like, oh, we can make a TCG and make some money.
Yes. Which is what I thought this was going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
The gameplay is really fun. I have talked about this multiple times, but the limited, like we played at Houston, me and Corey played in the 6-pack sealed event. That was the most fun I've had playing limited, I think maybe ever.
Yeah.
Like it was so fun to get to play any legend, any chosen champion can go with any legend. You get to play with 3 colors. Like it was so fun. I played Blue Lee Sin. I got the time warp in Lee Sin. Like I pulled a time warp. That's crazy. But super fun. Like there's a lot of good things. This game the sky's the limit with what they can do.
I think the overall feeling for Riftbound from the whole community, and especially for ourselves, was before Houston, everyone was enjoying this game.
Yeah.
Houston was a little bit of a sour mark on it. But it's something that they can fix.
Yes.
It's a lot harder to fix a broken game design than it is to give more prizing, improve your judge system, and be more cohesive with your
And I really want that to be. I mean, we make content here for Riftbound every week. Like we really do love the game.
Yeah, it's been fun to play,
and we want to grow the community and continue to do that. This podcast today was not us sitting here trying to kill this game. This is us talking about how we want things to improve, we want things to get better. How they did a lot of things right, but a lot of things wrong. And this is, again, our opinion. Maybe people feel completely different. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'm sure you guys will not be short of telling me how you think.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get some flame in the comments for sure.
But, you know, that's great. I want to start those conversations. I want people to be thinking about these things and thinking, okay, well, how should this event be run? What can they do to be better? And hopefully we get to see some big improvements from a competitive standpoint for this game moving forward. Because, again, I think the game's great. I think that the gameplay is very skill intensive. And I think that a lot of times in card games, it doesn't, like, sure, it pays to be a better card player to make more efficient plays more often and things like that. But there is RNG in every card game, but this game does feel pretty skill based. There's definitely RNG, and it's a 40 card deck, and we only get 4 cards. There's going to be at the start of the game, there's going to be some bricked hands. That kind of stuff's going to happen. But overall, it feels like, you know,
it feels more skill based than the average TCG out there.
Yes, especially set 1.
Yeah,
and so like that's super cool and exciting to see. So I'm really excited for set 2. Which is the last thing that I just wanted to leave with, because I know this has been kind of a down in the dumps podcast, a lot of things, but overall, like, the game's great and it is expanding, and next set is incredibly exciting.
What is next set called?
Spirit Forge.
Spirit Forge.
That's right.
And there are a bunch of new champs. There's a bunch of new mechanics. There's going to be a bunch of new rules, which I'm sure we're going to talk about here on this channel. But we've got equipment now. Things like Guardian Angel are making their way into the game. The thematics are very insane. Cool. Dude, it's going to be really fun. And I know you guys have only briefly checked out some of the new stuff. But the last thing I wanted to talk about today on this podcast was kind of moving into next set, what you're excited for, maybe just what legend you're excited for.
I have a cop-out answer. Jax, just because I love Jax.
No, and that's okay. I mean, that's super cool that you're one of your... I'm in the same boat. Granted, he's probably a little better than Jax, but, like, Ezreal is one of my top 3. Like, absolute love Ezreal. And the fact that he is a legend for me, no-brainer. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to play it even if it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it's probably going to be pretty good, but I'm definitely going to try it. I'm excited.
Yeah, they don't have any of my one tricks that... So I'm not super excited for this set. For the legends specifically, because there's no for those. I play like Shen, I play like Ziggs, I play like more than just those Alistar. I play like
I play some other champs.
I'm blanking on every single
other legends as well.
Yeah, there's several other ones I play, but so Azir's mechanic seems cool.
Yeah,
like,
super cool.
And a 2 soldier, that seems kind of cool. 2-might soldier. I'm trying to think about the other ones. Who else is
Ornn? I feel like that's someone you would really like.
I never played Ornn.
Yeah,
wow,
he just seems like he seems like a legend you would like.
I may have played it once in League on like was Earth on Earth.
Sure.
But I've never.
He's like a Voltron.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Like put all the equipment on him. And
who else? I don't know.
There's like Draven. Really excited for what?
Irelia.
I'm super excited for Draven.
Rumble. I used to play Rumble.
Rumble's cool.
Rumble's cool. I just don't know how good the effect actually will be.
Sure,
we'll find out on that.
Yeah,
but sure.
I was like, I think my biggest sad point for me right now is just like how powerful Annie is. So any purple red aggressive champ that gets created, like Draven is another one of my top 3. So I was like, dude, this is insane. 2 champs that I love. I like 80 carries if you couldn't guess. Jinx is the other one. She's already out, but I couldn't play her because Annie's just a lot better than her. So now I'm like, sweet Draven.
Jinx can probably get better with a bigger card pool.
I agree.
So hopefully. Can Annie, though.
Yeah, Annie gets better as well, just inherently, because their ability is incredibly powerful. So Draven, the new Draven, the thematics are just amazing.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. It's so cool, but he's not Annie. So, like, I don't see him getting more competitively viable.
I want Zillion.
Well, that would be... I can't wait for that. That's going to be a super cool vibe.
Part of the effect is literally just the Zonia's effect. You rest him, you like put back 3 runes or something.
Yeah. Dude. I'm excited to see where the game goes. There's a lot of really cool, exciting stuff. And that's kind of where we're going to leave it at today. I think that the game has a lot of potential. It's really fun. The community is growing exponentially, and there are a lot of really cool community members. I think people thought that this was going to be a pretty toxic community because of League of Legends, but it is not really.
That was actually something really cool about the event that I didn't mention, was how many like different, highly competitive or like famous or whatever you want to say, different community members there were. Like we got to meet Rahul Reddy, very, very famous Pokemon player, super nice guy. I was not expecting that. He was awesome.
Yeah.
And like just so many other people, even League of Legends players that don't play card games were there and stuff like that. So that was definitely very cool to just see like how much of a melting pot from different communities that were there and how good it was for that.
Yeah, 100%. It was super cool to see these people like away from the screen, right?
Yeah.
Being like always seeing them through a YouTube video or something. Very, very cool. And I think that this game is just going to attract more people of that caliber into it. So sky's the limit. The ball is in the court of Riot and UVS. Hopefully they do things right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. We'll be in Las Vegas. At least we'll be in Las Vegas. You might be in Las Vegas.
I might be in Las Vegas.
I can't wait till day 2ing gets you a League skin.
You throw that on.
That'd be crazy.
Dude, that's a cool idea.
Riftbound League skin. Yeah. Oh. Don't do one for Shen. I would have to play.
But we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, enjoying this podcast. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, let us know. We'll continue doing this. But thank you for all the support.
And if you didn't like it, let us know because he has to filter
message back. Yeah, I'm the guy that you yell at all the time. I just sit and cry and respond.
I respond. If I respond, I say the editor.
Yeah.
I put so people are nicer to me.
So be nice to me. I'm a sad guy. No, but thank you guys again. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.